How's it going, YouTube and my future self? Welcome back to the Lab TCG. Today we are going to be talking about TCGPlayer Direct. TCGPlayer Direct is a very cool program where you as the seller are basically loaned cards out of TCGPlayer's inventory, and then you are responsible for shipping all of the cards you have in your inventory to TCGPlayer on a revolving schedule or once a month, depending on the amount of sales you're doing. Basically, TCGPlayer sells items on your behalf that you say you have, and then one big shipment, you ship everything that you have to TCGPlayer. This is a really cool program because it allows you to save a ton of money on shipping costs, a ton of time on packing orders, and honestly, you can make more money doing TCGPlayer Direct than regular TCG Marketplace sales. For example, if you have a $15 card, sometimes the buy box of TCGPlayer Direct will be $20, where the lowest listing for a regular Marketplace seller is $15. So all of these things, you have reduced shipping times, reduced shipping costs. You don't have to deal with customer service, and you can charge higher for cards. It's a pretty cool program. It's not the easiest thing to get into, but we're going to go ahead and talk about all the stuff related to TCGPlayer Direct in this video. So if you stay till the end, you're going to know exactly what you need to do and how to do it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, first and foremost, I do want to say a huge thank you to Chase from TCG Bolt Kings. If you guys haven't seen his channel, he touches on TCGPlayer Direct, and he was one of the first channels that I ever saw talk about this topic. Then through getting our community Discord going, which is in the description, I was able to talk to some other people that have been doing TCGPlayer Direct, and I decided, I'll go ahead and take a stab at it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to more of a desktop view. We're going to go over the TCGPlayer Direct requirements, the fee structure, the shipping structure, all that stuff, and then we're going to take a look at some of the reimbursement invoices that I have sent to TCGPlayer and how you do that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into that. Alright, so first things first, if you have sold on TCGPlayer before, you've probably already created an account, you're familiar with how to ship out orders using plain white envelopes and tracking and all of that stuff. If you haven't done any of that yet, I highly recommend you go watch my video on how to sell on TCGPlayer. I do have a few of them, and I'll go ahead and add that to the card up here if you haven't seen that already. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that anyone that's watching this video has already sold on TCGPlayer and is probably a level 4 seller. So the first thing that TCGPlayer, the company, is telling you as the seller is joining TCGPlayer Direct is pretty easy. Once you meet the following criteria, you'll be able to join the team. Now, most of the people I know, TCGPlayer Direct, the program reached out to them via email, and they were basically invited, and it's because they met the threshold here. I did not get this email. I got something for Store Your Products, which is a little bit different. Instead of you being fronted inventory, you are actually sending all your inventory to TCGPlayer. So two completely different programs. If you've heard of Store Your Products or SYP, we're talking about TCGPlayer Direct. So with this one, they want you to be a level 4 seller, a 99.5% feedback rating over the past 30 days. You need to have direct eligible inventory with approximately 3,000 cards, and you need to be doing 100 sales per month, averaging $600 per week. Now, the direct eligible inventory, not all cards are eligible for TCGPlayer Direct. So that's definitely one thing that's there. And then the 100 sales per month, averaging 600 per week. This is totally going to depend on your business. If you're doing a lot of bulk sales, you might not be hitting the $600 per week. It also depends on the size. And I can tell you straight out, my business was not doing this on TCGPlayer, and I still was able to get into the program. So I did have about 14,000 cards in inventory when I applied, and all I did was reach out to sales@tcgplayer.com, sent them an email saying, hey, this is how much inventory I have. I'm interested in joining the Direct program. I know I don't meet the requirements, but I'd like to try it out. And I was basically reached back out to. They asked me to fill out some information, and I was approved. So once you do get approved for TCGPlayer Direct, your seller dashboard is now going to have the TCGPlayer Direct tab and the TCGPlayer buy list. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of experimenting with the TCGPlayer buy list because it is seemingly only Magic. However, if they do add Pokemon eventually, that is going to be something that I will mess around with. So let's go ahead and hop over to the TCGPlayer Direct tab. Here, these are some of the new things that you get. You have the reimbursement invoices. This is basically every time TCGPlayer is basically giving you an order to send everything that has sold to them, they're going to populate a reimbursement invoice, and they want you to ship that out within 24 hours. So basically, you're going to download a packing slip, you're going to print it, and then you need to make sure that every card that you have matches that sheet and put it in order and send it to TCGPlayer. Now, it's important that when you are sorting your inventory in your Pokemon business, and this is something that I've stressed from the beginning, if you watched the video on my channel that's quite old at this point about sorting and conditioning your cards, it's extremely important that you decide how you want to sort your cards. And if you ever planned on doing TCGPlayer Direct, you should have your cards in at least set order and then alphabetical order. Now, if you wanted to do condition, because that's another thing when TCGPlayer is doing the reimbursement invoices, they want condition as well. Just having it in that order makes it so much easier, because basically they're breaking down those packing slips into condition and then the cards under them. So having a good sorting system and a good inventory system is definitely helpful to getting all that stuff ready and good to go for Direct. So let's go ahead and hop over to the fees. I'm going to leave all the links to all this information in the description so that you guys can check out these blogs and articles for yourself. But the TCGPlayer fee structure is completely different than the marketplace seller. So let's take a look here. So the marketplace seller, level 1 through 4, there's the 10.25% fee on top of the credit card fee of 2.5% plus 30 cents. So we should all be familiar with this. I know in some videos I just say blanket 15% just to round up. It's better to over exaggerate your expenses than to undercut them. But this is the regular marketplace seller fees right here. Now, if we go down here, we have the direct seller if you're a non-pro and you're not syncing your inventory, and you have the direct seller with the pro account and the direct seller with the Crystal Commerce. We're going to be looking at this one right here, the direct seller, non-pro, non-sync. So the marketplace commission fee is 8.95%, and then the shipping cost varies by order size, and then you still have the domestic credit card fee. So if you're looking at this, your marketplace commission fee is actually lower with TCGPlayer Direct. Now, there are some other fees that, it's not all great, but in general, your fees are less. Then over here, we have the fee structure for smaller orders. This is where the program really gets unique. It really makes selling smaller bulk cards more worth your time. Something that I've said on this channel many times is don't sell cards under 25 cents. With TCGPlayer Direct, you can totally do that. I would say the pricing floor is, I would probably not list stuff under 10 cents, but it's completely up to you. I know Chase does his own pricing structure, and that's something that you could look out for. So this fee structure for small orders, any order under $3, TCGPlayer removes the processing fee. Basically, every TCGPlayer Direct order has a processing fee of 98 cents, and that is covering the shipping replacement. But for smaller orders under $3, they remove the processing fee, and you are then just charged 50% of the total item value for orders on $3. So this is pretty cool. They have a little example here, $1.20, you keep 60 cents. So something that I like to do is I'll buy bulk Vs in bulk for about 50 cents. Now I do put those into lots, but let's say you acquire a bulk V for 50 cents and that card is worth $3. Well, the fee that you're being charged is 50%, and that's now $1.50. So you just made $1 on that card, and you're shipping it with a bunch of other cards. So you're probably going to be paying a few pennies per card once you break down that shipping cost to the per card. So very cool. That's just an example. If you purchase a bulk card for 3 cents and it sells for 50 cents, then you're now making a quarter. That's a lot. That's like 8x profit on that 3-cent card, which I know is not a lot, but it's still pretty neat. So then on the larger orders, TCGPlayer still has to charge you a shipping cost because they are the ones shipping the items instead of you. They have a nifty little breakdown here. They're basically saying that if your estimated shipping cost based on some research they did is between $1.04 and $1.38 based on all this information, TCGPlayer is only going to charge you a flat 98 cents. Now, on my business, I believe my shipping cost is like 67 cents. I broke it down in an old video, but still, it's not a big deal because you're getting less in fees, and the shipping thing is really cool. So very cool and all whatnot. So yeah, if you want to get started with this program, reach out to sales@tcgplayer.com. Go ahead and just request to sign up, and then go ahead and review these little documents that talk about all the fees and whatnot. So now that we've covered all that, I want to go ahead and hop over to the reimbursement invoices section. I am going to blur out some information, but this is pretty cool. So basically, you are going to list all your inventory, and when you are doing pricing, you can go ahead and basically either just match the TCGPlayer Direct low price, or you can try and make more per sale. Like I said, if the buy box, similar to how Amazon works, if you win that buy box, you are getting to charge a premium and your item is basically highlighted. People are more often going to buy from that. So if you are winning that buy box, I've been able to make $5 more on a card that was selling for $5 less. And that could also present some interesting arbitrage opportunities if you wanted to take the time and comb through all the inventory. But that's that. So now looking at this page, this is the reimbursement invoices page. Like I said, all your stuff is going to sell, and TCGPlayer Direct, the sales come in way faster than the marketplace sales. It's actually pretty incredible. I really, really like this program. So when you basically hit a threshold, I'm not sure what it is, TCGPlayer will populate a reimbursement invoice for you, and essentially what that is you are taking all the cards that you have sold that TCGPlayer has already shipped on your behalf, and you are taking your inventory and sending it to TCGPlayer. So if we take a look at this reimbursement invoice right here, like I said earlier, you're given 24 hours to get all this ready and ship it out. I did end up taking a few days extra on one of mine, and it wasn't a big deal, but try and stay within that window if you can. So the information I'm going to blur out is right here. It has a tracking number. You do need to upload a tracking number with these TCGPlayer reimbursement invoices. That way they know where your stuff is coming from and where it's at. So once you do that, this is a good example because we have not only all the cards that I sold, but also a few mistakes that I made. And anytime you make a mistake or there's a discrepancy, whether an item's missing or the condition is wrong, you're going to end up getting charged a fee. And basically they're charging you the fee that it takes to replace that card. So definitely something to keep in mind. Again, I've talked about this before, and this is a mistake that I've made in my business. You need to be extremely strict about your inventory, because now if you're doing TCGPlayer Direct, not only is it going to cost you time, it's also going to cost you money. And in this instance, it's costed me money just by messing up, whether cards are missing or the conditions are not accurate. So be very diligent when it comes to this stuff. It's definitely something that I have been working on. So essentially, you are going to get a printout that has all of this information on it, and we can go ahead and look at that printout. But you're going to have set name, the condition, and then the item, and then the quantity. And basically, you print out the sheet and you match it up. You're making sure that everything is in order. It has to be in order, and you can't sleeve items. I believe the threshold for sleeving items is $20 or $50. I can't remember quite exactly, but they don't want you to sleeve any of the items that are like lower dollar, because it takes more time for TCGPlayer employees to go through them. But basically just match up the condition, match up the card, put it in order, and then go from there. Now, when you're shipping these items, once you have this huge, you're going to get a huge stack of cards. What Chase from TCG Bulk Kings does, and what I've copied, is you can take team bags. If you guys are familiar with team bags, we use these for other purposes on this channel. But little team bags like this with the foldable seal, you can place 55 cards from your reimbursement invoice into one of these, then Sharpie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order of the reimbursement invoice that you're given, and then you can put those into a box or multiple bubble mailers or something, as long as they're getting there safe. So, for example, these BCW 200 storage counts, these are a couple dollars. You can order them in mass quantity. I know Chase, doing lots of orders, uses those 800 count boxes. So it all depends on the order volume that you're processing, but that's kind of what you're looking at in terms of those. Now, if we go ahead and print this packing slip, so I'm going to blur out some more information, but this is what the TCGPlayer reimbursement invoice looks like. You have the mail to up here, you have the reimbursement information there, and then the seller. So what I'll do is I'll go behind me to the inventory that you guys see behind me, and I'll just go, all right, 9 level balls from Battle Styles. Take the 9 level balls, put them face down. Next item, 2 Hiding Dark Energy. Find the Hiding Dark Energy, put them face down, check the condition, all that stuff, all the way through. And then as you can see, you have lightly played Pokemon, you have moderately played near mint, lightly played, all that stuff. So make sure that it's in order of the stuff. If you're not missing any cards, what you are pulling from your inventory should meet this quantity at the bottom, and that's how you know that you're all good to go. Once you do that, like I said, separate them into 50, 55, put them in team bags, label them, and then package them into either one of those card storage boxes or multiple bubble mailers. I mean, it depends on how much you value your items being shipped safely. I would definitely stay on the more cautious side, but then ship them all to the address that was in the top right of that packing slip, and submit the tracking number to TCGPlayer in this box right here. Once you do that, TCGPlayer will go through all the inventory that you have sent them. They'll look for any discrepancies, they'll charge you any fees for that stuff, and then you'll get your payout, and that's pretty much it. So overall, TCGPlayer Direct is a great program. It is excellent for selling those bulk cards. It's excellent for selling all kinds of cards. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's something that I've really enjoyed. Once again, thanks to Chase from TCG Bulk Kings for all the information that he had already posted on this topic. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can reach me via email or the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. If I missed anything, let me know, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one.